The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Welcome to the show. It is Wednesday, and you are looking live at Tostitos Championship Plaza outside Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas, where it is cloudy, 79 degrees. The high is 81. The low is 70.
He is Shannon. That is Nate. This is Kurt 2 Pumps Daniels. In the back is Chris Bean, keeping it live and local. I am Salt and Pepper Poppy. Together, we make Hanging with the Boys, the sports talk equivalent of Braille. People feel us when we speak.
Brought to you each and every show by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Yes.
Michael Parsons. We have not said his name on this show since it went down. He has been banned from this show, but we can talk about him for the next 3 days. Today, tomorrow, and Friday, and then no more. We shall not speak his name anymore after this week. But our guy is coming to town, and we get to talk Packers defense. Are we even going to talk about anybody else? We're just going to talk
Actually,
about him.
yes.
You better.
Absolutely.
We are?
Yes.
You better talk about it.
Yeah.
You better.
For sure.
All right. Go ahead and talk about some folks. Tell us what what are we up against?
I'm going to give you number 52, Rashad Gary.
Mm-hmm. Rashawn Gary.
4.5 sacks.
Leads the National Football League.
Yes,
sacks.
4.5 sacks. But what I want to get to real quick, is Quay Walker, Edrin Cooper. Mm-hmm. This is the linebackers. They are part of the rush package. They are very disciplined. They stay in their lanes. They can cover fairly well. They never come off the field. That right there impressed me. They play a four-man front, which consists of Carl Brooks, Deontay Watt. Devontae Watts, bad eyes. Devontae Watts, and Parsons. And I already told you about Gary. These guys are very disciplined. They play a four-man front. They played a lot of over against Cleveland. They played a little bit of four-man front, depending on down and distance, against Washington. Their linebackers will come up in the line and fake like they're gonna blitz. But when they mainly come up into the offensive line, they finna run some long games. And what I call long games is tackle in. They'll loop around to the outside. They'll let them go into their to plan to a power side. And what I'm talking about that is they'll stunt the tackle in, they'll stunt the end in, and then they'll see where it's a gap, and they'll go right where that gap at. They are very disciplined. They're like worker bees. Everybody got their place. And everybody know who they are.
Wait a minute. They play assignment alignment football?
Yes, sir. And
what a concept.
Yeah,
I walked in before the show and I said, you know what? I told Jess, I said, Jesse, the thing that this team that really stands out to me is they play fast. And they are disciplined. Take it over, Jess.
And when he said that, we both looked at each other, and I said, oh, my God. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Every phase of their defense, the front, the middle, and the back end, they play very, very fast. And they're going to give you a combination of different things in the back end. They're going to play some cover one, right? And they're going to show one look. A lot of times they'll show two high safeties, and then you'll see as it get close to the snap, they'll go into cover three. They'll play some cover six. So they'll play a multitude of coverages on the back end to try to confuse the quarterback, because in the back of your mind, right, as a quarterback, yes, I'm looking and I'm checking for what the safety is going to do, but I'm also like, there's Rashawn Gary, there's Micah Parsons. And so trying to put all that together of all those safeties moving in late, what are those linebackers doing? Oh, by the way, they have these two guys coming off the edge. And, even the guys that back up Rashawn Gary and
Lucas Van Ness.
Yes. So he was the starter before Micah Parsons came to town. So their backup used to be their starter before Micah came to town, and he's playing with this hair on fire. Same thing for the guy Kobe Wooden. He's also a backup, but when he comes in, he plays like a starter. So these are the guys up front when you're talking about stopping the run and really defending the run. But this team plays with speed
and confidence.
So, let me ask my dumb question for the day.
You got it, man.
When you say they play fast, are you talking like physically they are fast
physically
players,
fast,
or do they scheme like they're just hair on fire?
They
all of that.
All of that.
All of that.
Like when you watch them on film, like it sticks out. When you see them running around, it's not like one dude who's really fast. You see 10, 11 dudes who are just choom, choom, choom. Like they're all over the place with speed, with direction. And it's not a wild, out of control fast. It's we recognize what we want to do. When the ball is snapped, we're to where we're supposed to be. If it's handed off, we're rallying to the football. If they're disguising coverages, guys are getting back to the deep thirds. Your guys are buzzing down into into the box.
So many multiple looks.
Yes.
So
that is what's scary.
Everything we have not been,
they are.
Why you got to do it like that? Man?
Because
that was a Jesseism.
Well, no, because
that was a Jesseism.
because as he's talking, like y'all are saying they're super fast. Well, you know what lets you play fast on defense? Confidence.
Knowing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Knowing what you're doing and communicating. Like, and
did you see a blown coverage?
Right?
I think I saw maybe one blown coverage. And they recovered so quick to you didn't really know it was a blow.
And the one thing that I think is going to be difficult for the Cowboys, especially the Cowboys offensive line front, with the addition of now having, you got to have TJ Bass into the mix. You got to have, Kaufman having his second week starting. And then, Terrence Steele has been struggling the way that he's been struggling. When they start to do these twists and these stunts on their defensive line, when they do their tackle in stunts, they do it in multiple ways, like Nate was talking about, where they'll loop that guy from the end, they'll loop him 2 gaps around. Now he's coming down, so they'll have their 2 defensive tackles and they're shooting like towards the outside, and he'll wrap around, coming straight down the middle of your offensive line, and that's Rashawn Gary, that's Micah Parsons. They'll just do a simple tackle in switch, a twist.
Yeah. And
so it's always something that is coming towards you with a different look. These guys.
But let me emphasize now. But they have lane integrity. I'm telling you, they will run their games with quickness and speed. But if I'm supposed to be in the A and you supposed to be in the B, they gonna beat up because they are like the old Minnesota Vikings. We're gonna get the runner on the way to the quarterback. So they stay in their lanes just in case you run a draw. Or just in case you try to run a funky screen or something. They still in their lanes so they can react.
Yeah.
I just had a Nate moment.
What was that?
When it covers his eyes. That's like a premonition.
Yeah.
When you're saying that, and I'm sitting there thinking, all right, Cowboys offensive line, left side, you've had some issues. Wide right, you definitely had some issues. Now you got a new guard in there. You got a new center. This ain't the game you want with quick guys that are running,
like
twists and stunts.
When I was watching it yesterday, and from a general manager perspective, right? Like, if you took a step back and you said, bring back Kenny Pickett, take away Micah Parsons, right?
Kenny Clark.
I'm sorry, Kenny. I keep saying Kenny Pickett. Kenny Clark. Excuse me.
Wait a minute.
Kenny Clark. Like, just rewind this to middle of August.
Yeah.
And Kenny Clark is still on the Packers. Micah is not on the Packers anymore. Still a damn good defense. Mm-hmm. I get this is a damn good defense without my, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So like I'm looking at, and we already knew what their offense was, right? LaFleur and that offense was already a very explosive offense, and all of that nonsense. They had Jordan Love and those receivers and that running game and all that kind of stuff. The GM looked at that and said, you want to get rid of that guy because he will be the missing piece that we want on this defense.
When you talk about one player away,
When you talk about being a player away, like without Micah Parsons, Van Ness, and Kenny Clark, this defense would have still been absolutely fine.
because now you
Gary can rush the passer. Number
Yes.
52.
you got
Gary can
you
rush.
got a guy backing up Micah now that could start for 31 other teams in the league.
Yes.
At least for 28 of them.
Yeah, at least for 28
At
of
least
them.
for
Right,
28
for
of
sure.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might not start
Back it
there,
up.
you know, but this is a guy who was a starter for them.
Right.
It was starting to find his way. He was starting to
He
find
was a
his way.
former first round pick.
Yeah.
So like this is a guy who is, and so you look at it and you go, they saw that and was like, oh, this is a piece. And this is the thing that I talked about, and you hear people talk about ramping up. This is what I'm talking about when I say, all right, people are like, oh, well, Clowney's going to come in there. I'm like, Clowney ain't done nothing in 5-6 months. It's going to take him a couple of weeks to get going. But a guy like Micah, who they've kind of ramped up, is kind of into that fourth week of the season.
He's going.
Like, this is now where he's kind of like, it's settled in. They understand him. He understands the defense a little bit better. His sea legs are there. The conditioning is there. The confidence is there. And they're just flying around. And so I get why the front office was like, if they're going to give up this piece, this is the exact piece that we would need to take over, to have the depth that we want, to have the closer that we want. And now, like I said, Rashawn Gary by himself was more than good enough pass rusher.
Nice
like
pass
he was
rush.
more than good enough to doing what he was doing. And now you look at, man, the pressure rate is up. Micah is second in the league in pressures. And
Cherry on top.
Rashawn Gary's leading the league in sacks, and their defensive front is like top 3 in rush defense, and so on and so forth. This defense, and the offense gets all of the praise because we're in an offensive league, we're in a passing league, and Jordan Love and all that kind of stuff. Whoa, boy, this defense, and they'll play your man coverage. They'll go cover one and play your man coverage back there. And they were sticking the guys. And that's why I'm like, this game, without having CeeDee Lamb, I would have felt better with CeeDee Lamb, because in those moments where if they decided to go man-to-man coverage, what CeeDee will be able to do. But it's a good group, man. Good group.
Per game. Just per game. 14.7 points they've given up in this early season. It's still early.
Best.
Yes. Passing game, they're giving up 168 yards. Rushing, they're giving up 64. A 3.2 average. They have three TDs scored on them, but they have 10 sacks. They're giving up 253 total yards per game. Right now, it's early in the season. They may wind up, at the end of the season being the worst defense in the league.
Some stats from Kurt. Rashawn Gary first in NFL in sacks with 4.5. Devontae Wyatt among the leaders in pressure, and then their linebacking core, Cooper and Walker are in Kurt's favorite website, PFF. They're both in the top 25, and McDuffie would be if he had enough snaps. That's
Pretty good unit.
Yeah.
not bad.
And like I said, you add Micah Parsons to the mix. He's
It's the
second.
cherry on top.
Through
man.
3 weeks, he's second in pressures behind Nick Benito in Denver with 21. Micah has 19.
And he's first in offsides. If that was a stat and making folks jump off sides, he's first in that.
Who, Micah?
He just breathed on one tackle against Washington. He just breathed on him and he jumped off sides.
Where's-
I like,
where's
wow.
he-
Let me say something. Talk about ramping up from Micah Parsons. In week 1, he played 30 snaps. In week 2, he played 47 snaps, 67% of the defensive snaps. In week 3, he played 51 snaps, 73.6% of the defensive snaps. When you're talking about that ramping up, every week they've added about 10 to 15 more snaps to his mix. So, I mean, this week 4, he played 74% last week. You can probably bet somewhere along the line he's going to be 85-ish% of the defensive snaps.
But as solid as their defense, that's where I would keep him at. How many did he get this past week, Jess?
51.
I would keep him around 51, maybe
Keep
no more.
him fresh?
Oh, but I'm telling you, And he's setting the edge. I saw him one time, was in his 4-point stance over the tackle, got up because a tight end or slot back came out a yard. He got over there, man. He shot the edge, and then he got on the offensive tackle and shot the edge. I'm like, wow. Why is he setting the edge? That Mike ain't supposed to be setting the edge. I guess $48 million make you set the edge.
All right, let's do something. Let's do something we haven't done. Let's dedicate next segment to Micah. Since we haven't talked about him since he departed. Let's get it out of our system.
Did we not just dedicate?
No, that was a whole
overall
unit. Let's talk about.
No, you could let Jesse. Y'all can do it, man.
No, because I have a question.
You finna call this man? Come on, man.
I have a question for you.
How many sacks is too many sacks?
No, it's not about that. It's about morale and the mental state of the defense when we come back.
And I'll tell y'all how I would play Michael if I was getting ready to play against Michael. Okay,
and more when we come back.
Yeah.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/cowboys.
Cowboys fans, SeatGeek is the only primary ticketing partner of America's team and here to help you experience all the action this season. SeatGeek makes it easy to find the perfect seats to the perfect game, so you can be part of all the touchdown celebrations and momentum-shifting takeaways this season. Whether you're getting tickets to Cowboys games or to any other live event in DFW, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. SeatGeek.
How about them Cowboys? Or how about them Tyson Cowboys Nuggets? As we cheer for the stars on the field, we love that we've also got some stars on our plate, thanks to Tyson brand star-shaped Cowboys Nuggets. That, along with all our other favorite Tyson Foods products, sure make game day special. Score some delicious Tyson Cowboys Nuggets and become a game day star, just like our Cowboys. As you enjoy your stars on and off the plate, remember, tailgates and game day have always been Tyson.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the second segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every show by blockchain.com. Thank you, blockchain.com. All right, I got a question. It's not a, well, it kind of is on the field question, but since it's Packer week and we can talk about Micah and we're 3 games in and we see what this defense looks like so far. Look, I'm not going to kill the defense. We'll give it some time. I said 6 games. We got 3 more games to go. I don't want to pile on them, but we have seen these 3 games. When you trade your best player, arguably the best player on your team, does that mentally do something to you as a defensive unit? Put you on notice and goes, nobody's safe, right? But does it do something to the morale of the defense that could have affected them these 3 games to where it's like, man, you just got rid of our best guy. What are we doing? Like, has that affected this team, or is that just part of the business? And, you know, because as a fan base, you feel that. As a defensive unit, you got to be like, you just took the biggest shot we got as a secondary off the field and gave him to another team. Does that mess with you?
I don't know if it, I think there's 2 parts to that. There's 2 parts to it. I think part number 1 is when you lose a player like that in the manner in which you lost a player like that, guys realize, if they're honest with themselves, we lost something major.
Yeah.
And then the second part of it, and this goes with the arrogance or confidence that is necessary to play in this league. Guys look around and go, here's my opportunity to shine. And I guess that there's a third part of reality hits, is where you then begin to realize life ain't the same without this dude around. Because, guys like Osa and Sam and all the other guys, they're now realizing the benefit that was afforded them because of the attention that was given to Micah. Because now the attention turns to you. And before, when you were getting more singles or, the gaps were a little bit wider. And
when you ran a game, the guy didn't actually be able to get off to you, and
right.
you fell into a sack because they had to crunch down on Mike and they saw you late.
That quarterback gets off his, because Mike gets around that corner so quick.
Yes,
that quarterback's off his spot now. Micah, it's like if you have a hunt, right? A lot of times when they hunt, they'll send the fast dogs out there first.
Yeah,
they'll send hey, go get them, and then after they get to running and chasing, then they go, hey, I'm gonna send the bull terriers, and I'm gonna send the
ones that gonna hold
the Dogo Argentinos out there,
hold them,
and I'm gonna chase them. I'm gonna have these fast dogs chase them,
wear them down,
and then when them hogs run right into that Dogo, finished.
They're gonna grab them.
And that's what Michael would do. He would chase them right into you, and guys he would fall into 4, 5, 6 sacks because the attention was over there. So there's a couple of stages that are happening in there, and then when you win, you go, we didn't need him, but it reminds me when Nate in that squad before they brought over Deion Sanders, right, and the money that they were going to give him, and Jerry came in there and was saying, who's opposed to me paying this guy this amount of money? Nobody said nothing, right? Nobody raised their hand, nothing like that, because they all like, dog, you bring him in here, life becomes a lot different for the rest of us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You go get Charles Haley, you go get Deion Sanders. Life different. Life different for the Shark.
Yeah.
Life different for Tony Casillas. Life different for Darren Woodson. Those type of things make your life a lot easier because we know that dude is going to impact this game in such a way that it lessens what I have to do and it gives me more opportunity to go out there and shine.
So that theory of manufacturing pressure sounds good, right? Until you go put it into practice.
Their whole
now this is where it gets ugly.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it gets ugly because there's only 5 premier guys like that. I mean, like
Micah.
It's only 5 of them out there. So how do the other teams manufacture that?
Mm.
And this is where I hate to say, you got to get better players.
Mm.
If I'm wrong, they got to prove it to me. This is where you have to get better players. Want to guys. I text the guys though that me and Jesse got into it last year. No, it wasn't me and you. It was me and somebody else.
Isaiah.
Got into no, it wasn't Isaiah. It wasn't Isaiah. We got into an argument, and they said 97 is just the guy. The guy for the Detroit Lions. He's just the guy. He's not just.
No,
that
was you and I.
That was me and you.
Because I said he was all effort.
Yeah.
I called him a big effort.
Oh, is that where that random text came from?
Yeah. That was you and I.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really see nothing special about this dude. He just tries really hard.
This dude done broke his leg and come back off a broken leg and sacked one of the most gifted quarterbacks in the league in Lamar Jackson ever. And we don't have that guy. See, there's 4 premier guys, and then it's the effort guy. Who's our effort guy? Who is our effort guy? We don't have one.
Somebody being.
Yeah, I you know what? I agree with you 100% because there is that tier of that is your Myles Garrett's, your Crosby's, your Bosa before he got hurt.
Yes,
and Micah, and then there's that next level of guys that you put up there, and we got to go another. We got to probably come down 2 more ranks before we put any of our guys in that category. And when you don't have those guys in that category, what made guys like Mike are so special is they don't need a play call for them. They just go make a play. And sometimes they even go off script.
He's the defensive Dez, right? Just talent, just go catch the ball.
Go make a play.
Yeah.
We don't have that. And when you don't have that across the board, right? You don't have that anywhere across the board. Not Sam Williams, not Marshawn Nealon, not James Houston, not Donovan Ezeraku, not Fowler. Nowhere across that do you have that. And so when you talk about manufacturing, you need guys to manufacture. You need the players to go out there to be able to manufacture this stuff, to manufacture the pressure. Because the only way you manufacture pressure is by sheer math. 6 is greater than 5. 7 is greater than 6. 8 is greater than 7. Now, if I'm manufacturing pressure, that means if there's 5 down offensive linemen, I got to send a 6. That means there's 5 guys back in coverage, right? If there's 6 blockers and I got to send 7, that means if we ain't holding up on the back end, it won't matter. You're not manufacturing no pressure because the ball is going to open receiver down the field. So in order to manufacture pressure, you got to be able to cover on the back end, which the Cowboys haven't been able to do. Can't cover on the back end, can't manufacture pressure up front, can't manufacture pressure up front, can't cover on the back end. Is why we're sitting here right now looking at this defense marching towards a historically bad defense because, yeah, it's easy to, you can say manufacture pressure, but you need dudes to do that. I need dudes to be able to go out there and do what we need to do. And we don't have that.
All right, how would you deal with Micah?
I have to retake everything I said because the NFL is not built like that anymore.
Take the fine.
Yeah,
Take the fine.
Yeah, you.
Take the fine. This one's on me. If I'm Eberflus, hey, I'm taking the fine.
If he and another thing, he negates a lot of that because you don't know where he's going to line up. Old school football, I knew Reggie White was going to be over on my right by my right tackle. 90% of the time, when they went bare, I knew he was going to be center. 90% of the time. Now Parsons against he moved around a lot against Washington. He moved around a lot. He got the left guard, even got some in Washington. But he played a lot of right, I think. And I'm saying I'm going from my right. He played over that right tackling guard a little bit, So, and then they moved him over to the left side. So, if you don't know where he's going to be, it's kind of hard to design wham plays, trap plays. Every chance we would have got to put our hands on Parsons, we was going to try to put our hands on him.
What about elbows?
Knees.
Fists.
Man, he fall.
Bite him.
I can say this now because it ain't nothing going to happen. But, man, if he'd have fell in front of me, I'd have just led with my knee right in his chest. I'd have saw where that rib was hanging out. Man, I'd have just, I'd have put the point. I'd have made the shit point. Got that small rib.
Tenderize.
It wasn't gonna be no softening him up. Once I put that on him, he was gonna look at me, and I remember I got Lawrence one time. Lawrence Taylor, it was the sweetest blow. And I got his partner. I can't think of his name too.
Carson.
No, it was a defensive tackle. Man,
Pepper Johnson.
When you hit those dudes just right, they look at you. And that's your time to let them know where you stand. And because when you get that shot, they'll look at you. And Lawrence, not in here today. What I'm telling him is you safer running the horn because you ain't coming in here today. You know what I'm saying? But it was hard to do that with Reggie because they had so many great pass rushes you wasn't getting no help. So you couldn't sell out the Reg because we're going to be all day affair. You're going to be in church all day with him.
So when these guys are practicing plays out here, did they say, okay, let's run this play with Micah is here. Let's run it now with Micah here.
That's hard to do.
Can they do that?
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
Now, you can always kind of turn the protection.
That's the best bet.
But you can kind of always get the protection to him. But I'm talking about a running play. Sometimes you want to get a running play where you can get on a guy, lean on a guy, or push him across the pile, or put something extra on that. Yeah, a nose guard, never no problem. He ain't athletic enough. He ain't moving outside of those guards. But Micah, you can be on a line up a perfect play you think you got. All of a sudden, he might not even show up on the field. You know, he taking a break, you know.
We've seen, like, he got criticized for some of his run defense. Would you just run right at him? Some teams have done that.
So, like, even in the Cleveland game, they tried to run at Micah as well. And, you know, if we talk to offense now or before or later, if I was the OC, this is just if I was playing OC and I was playing against this team, my tight end room would be so important because we are going to be in a ton of 12 personnel.
Yes.
We're going to be one back, two tight ends a large majority of the game. Because I'm looking at Brevin Spanford and I'm looking at Schoonmaker and I'm looking at Ferg and I'm saying, you got to sell out this week. You got to sell out this week and you got to give me everything in this. So it's to the point now where if, you know, whatever the side, like just say if Mike is going to line up primarily on the offensive right-hand side, defensive left-hand side, well, when I break the huddle, the strength is going to be to that side, tight end is going to be to that side, and if it's not, maybe I can motion, right? But talking about sliding the protection, if I'm sliding the protection right, or sliding the protection left, that means I'm getting another guy out there. I'm getting a tight end with my tackle, and we're going to try to, you know, position this thing where he got to run a super hump around the outside, or he's going back inside, and I'm on the hip of my tackle trying to figure out, hey, if he go in, you got to really sell him inside. You got to go get him inside, because if he comes back, I'm hip to hip with you to make him have to run back into me or bounce even more outside. That's how I would play it. My offense would be run from the 12 personnel this week. I'm sliding the protection.
Call a hang block.
Yeah,
the tight end is hanging with the tackle, and I'm with you. Cleveland did that a couple of times.
Yeah,
I mean that tight end, punished him. He was there with his tackle, and once they figured out where he was going, then he went into his route. You can't take off. No. Come on, man. Like Mike too fast for that. As Jerry called it, Michael's too fast for that.
Because they have two really good rush ends. But like I'm in 12 personnel, one back, two tight end, two wide receivers, as much as I can possibly be, because that's going to give me a better chance at protecting my quarterback. And then, even go back and watch the Detroit Lions against the Ravens. A lot of their big runs, they had 12 personnel. They had two tight ends in there. You got to get in there and you got to get dirty with these jokers. You got to get in there and block them and hit them and just lean on them and lean on them and lean on them. Because if they get to that position where they're up and they could just pin their ears back and now you got to pass.
All right, well, see y'all next week. No, I'm not feeling good. Let's take a break.
You wanted all Parsons. We gave y'all.
Yeah, let's go on to let's spend the last 10 minutes of the show talking about Cowboys offense. Or should we just cut that? Can we cut that down to 2 minutes this week without CD?
There's some opportunities there.
Okay. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's what we do.
Let's get back to positive Jesse, anti-hater Jesse. When we come back, Cowboys offense. Be right back.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Cowboys fans, SeatGeek is the only primary ticketing partner of America's team and here to help you experience all the action this season. SeatGeek makes it easy to find the perfect seats to the perfect game, so you can be part of all the touchdown celebrations and momentum-shifting takeaways this season. Whether you're getting tickets to Cowboys games or to any other live event in DFW, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. SeatGeek.
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
Welcome back to the final segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every show by 7-Eleven, where there's a $5,000 winner every single day. Shop with 7 rewards and play the in-app game for a chance to win $5,000 in cash. New daily cash winners only at 7-Eleven. Are you next? No purchase necessary. Ends 1/6/2026. U.S. and D.C. Ages 16 and older. For full official rules and free gameplay, go to 5k-day.com/rules.
Excuse me.
I went before the show, so I need to do my scratch-offs while you guys are talking about this Cowboys offense. So, Jesse, positive Jesse, do we have a shot of putting points up against this fast, coordinated, confident, communicative defense that we're going to face on Sunday night?
There's always a chance. There's always a shot, right? Like football is a very funny lady, and she's not loyal to anybody. Right? Like every week, she could show her allegiance to a different group of men. You know what I'm saying?
I thought they pull up a dress.
Yeah, she could show love to a different group of men every single week. But those who prepare the best and who come to play the best, usually the one that Dirty Diana goes to. But what the Cowboys have to do, in my personal opinion, they gotta slow this game down. They have to muck this up. They have to make this ugly. They have to make this, because what you don't want is that Green Bay offense is really explosive. That quarterback is another one of these guys who can throw the ball all over the park. They got a really good running back in Josh Jacobs. They are down their right tackle for this game, but I mean, hell, that doesn't matter for us. We said the last 2 weeks.
We're talking about
No, I'm getting there. So I'm saying all that
Tomorrow.
That the Cowboys, offensively, you got to slow it down. I said a little bit earlier, you got to get in 12 personnel. You got to go walk to that tight end room, and you got to tell Spanford and Luke and Ferg, this is going to be, we win this game on the backs of you guys. This has to be a game where the tight ends block the very best that they've ever blocked. You have to be willing to commit wholeheartedly that you're going to help in the run game. Because what we got to do is wear this defense down. How you combat that level of speed is that when we get to the fourth quarter, their hands are on their hips, and they're leaning over, and they're bent over, and they're trying to catch their breath, because it was just body blows after body blows after body blows. That to me is the path. You're not getting explosive plays. No, I don't think that's going to be a part of where you're getting down the field and you're having these explosive plays. You're looking for ways now. Maybe you get a special teams touchdown.
It'd be nice.
Or a big play in the special teams game. They're just not giving up many big plays. So you got to slow it down. You got to make this thing. This is one of those games. If the score is 12-9 and you win, you get up. You leave that game and say, "Job well done."
Yeah.
This is not going to be one of those games where it's a 35-30. This has to be bloody. This has to be a back alley, bare knuckle fight.
So do you just let the run game take over from an offensive standpoint? and
you
just
still
grind
have
it?
you still have a short game. You still have a short passing game.
Yes.
This is to go along with Jesse. You going each quarter. You're looking to have you 8 to 9 runs, great runs. I mean, what a great run against them. I'm talking about just 4 yards. You don't need negative plays. I mean, we played Philadelphia, and we played them the second time. We hit them 12, 11 sacks the first game. One of our goals was, and y'all can laugh at us, but 2nd and 10 was not bad. But 2nd and 11 was a killer. That 1 yard. So I'm looking at this game. 2nd and 7 is not bad. It gives you a chance to either run again or throw a short pass. You're going to have one of them. And it will not hurt to have in one of those first 2 quarters to have your 8-minute drive.
So you're just trying to stay out of
harm's way and keep yourself in the game.
Knowing that, hey, they are passing. You want to keep them a little bit guessing.
Because what happens in that, like, and you'll see out throughout the course of the game, the more you get in definite passing downs, the more you put yourself in harm's way.
Yes, sir.
And number 4 in harm's way.
Right, like, because you're going to see throughout that game, even like watching the Cleveland game, watching other games, like it's that moment where they're this close to getting to Flacco, like strip sack fumble. They're that close. And they're like, they're just, and the more you keep seeing, then the sacks start adding up. And then things start adding up.
And they're hitting your quarterback.
Right? Because what also, and this is why it's also important to kind of keep the run game alive. To Nate's point, I can't get in 2nd and 15 because I jumped off sides. There will be holdings in this game. I'm telling y'all right now. Tyler Guyton might have 2 or 3 of them. I'm just telling you. And that's going to be a killer when you got to look up and you got to go, dog, it's 2nd and 10.
Some of them might be worth it, though.
It might be, but when you look up and it's 2nd and 15, it's 2nd and 20 because we held. And that plays right into their hands because that's when they'll play a little coverage and they'll let you run a little bit and then they'll say, oh, now we're at 3rd down. Now it's 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8.
Oh.
And I used to know the word for this, and Jess, I'm quite sure you do. When they are rushing a certain way and the safeties and corners are playing a certain, it's only one person you can throw that ball to. They saying, we're going to let you throw it right here. And the quarterback going to have to throw it because everything else is covered up. They telling you this is the only thing open like they did with our tight end this pass. Hey, man, hey, here he is. Here's number 87. And we're going to come up and tackle you because 2nd and anything more than 10, they're going to direct where you throw that ball at. They're going to direct the 90% of the time where you throw that ball at. Now, I'm saying this because I guess I'm oversold on CD. I don't know what Brother Pickens is going to do in a situation like this. Maybe I'm hoping he shine like never before. I'm hoping Devontae shine like never before. But this is going to be a game where, like Jesse said, you're going to need 2 tight ends that's willing to do it on run downs and passing downs, and that's help with the blocking. Because if you're not, you cannot turn 52 or 11, especially 11, because if he's like any other defensive player like I know that like to rush the passer, if they get a sack early, your day is ruined.
You put an extra 1 on him. You said 11. He's 1 now.
Well, I hope they don't get 11 sacks.
Yeah, but the Cowboys, the Cowboys offensively, and this is the type of game. Honestly, like the Cowboys actually have the perfect back for a game like this.
Yes, he does.
Because Javonte is going to break tackles. Like he's one of those backs that's always going to fall forward. That's always going to get that 1 extra yard. And so as long as you can give yourself an opportunity to run it on 1st and 2nd down positively, Javonte is the kind of back where he's delivering the hit. Now, granted, protect the ball because They are the type of team, first guy there holds you up, second, third, fourth, fifth guy there are quick. Yeah. They're punching. They're trying to create turnovers that way as well. But Javonte is a back that will give you a chance to just tenderize it all game long. And that's what you want. Like each one of you always hear the saying that each drive should end with a kick. Punt, extra point, or field goal. Like the Cowboys have to be in that mindset. They can't have a bunch of 3-and-outs. They can't have a bunch of penalties. If you get behind in the sticks, you're going to be in for a long day.
Right now, they are rushing the ball. On 1st and 10, they rush the ball 39% of the time. So a third of the time they're rushing it, 2/3 they're passing it. Do they need to make that a little? Do they need to rush more? Do they make it a little more even?
I think so. I think so for this particular game because of the way that they rush the passer. I think running the ball for the Cowboys, and that's why I said 12 personnel because I need double deuce blocks and 8. Like I need guard and center, and I need tackle and tight end. I need 2 of them. I need double deuces. I need all of that. Maybe this is one of the games where, hey, we paid the fullback $7 million. Lipke, come on.
You know what you can't do? A lot of teams do a lot of misdirection, and that requires for your guards and tackles a lot of times to block down. These dudes are a little bit too fast for that. If anything, just do a wham block where you just let a guy free and the tight end just smack him. But this block down. Don't do that. Not good.
And Clayton Downs has done a really good job in designing the blocking scheme.
I could be wrong.
This is one of those games where, boy, you need the very best from everybody. There's very, 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 very slim room.
And then
for
Coach said that it could be some changes, on this, not for the offense, but for the defense. And I'm just saying to myself, is this the game?
Do you want to change too much now?
Yeah, I mean,
let's wait a week. All right, fellas, good stuff. Jesse, Nate, Kurt, Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air. Josh, thanks for keeping them company. We'll be back tomorrow with what? Cowboys defense.
Yes, sir.
Jordan
We
Love,
need a defensive player, lineman to show up this week.
Jacobs, is that right? The running back, Josh Jacobs?
We need a defensive lineman to show up this week.
Yep. And company tomorrow.
We got company?
No, I was saying Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs and company tomorrow.
Yeah.
Talk their offense, our defense, and who knows what else. Tomorrow, Thursday, hanging with the boys. See you then.
We out.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!